The film tells the story of Michael Baskin, a typical 11-year-old boy. One morning, Michael gets irritated when his sister Susie tries to replace their mother, who has taken care of her father's recently deceased estate in Australia. The father, Billy Baskin, is a poor artist who temporarily takes care of the children. Later, Michael's friend Connie pays him a visit. Connie reveals to the others that an abandoned house recently caught fire, and Michael seems curious about it. The abandoned house served as a shelter for vagrants, and that night, some of them even died. Michael remembers those poor people. It broke his heart to see them sitting in front of the bank. One day, Michael gave a hobo his last bit of money, leaving the old man surprised. Later that day, Michael and Connie go to investigate the recently burned abandoned house. Michael, curious, wants to go inside, but Connie tells him it is not a good idea. The scene shifts to the school, where the art teacher tells the children to draw his dog. The art teacher is a strange man who forbids the children from using their imaginations and instead tells them to draw only what they see. In fact, the teacher becomes furious when he finds out that Michael used his imagination by drawing flames around the dog, so he ruins his drawing. Connie sticks up for his dear friend and says that Michael's father is an artist who sells his paintings for thousands of dollars. One evening, an art dealer visits Michael's father to appraise new paintings. However, the art dealer is not very pleased with Billy's work, saying that he will not be able to sell these paintings. Then, the art dealer discovers a painting that Billy had been keeping hidden and is amazed, saying that he can sell it even tomorrow. Nevertheless, Billy says that it is not for sale because it is a birthday present. The art dealer makes him an offer of $6,000, but Billy refuses it anyway. One day, Michael and Connie return to the abandoned house to investigate. Initially, Connie tries to enter the house through the slide but slips and gets hurt. However, Michael is not discouraged and climbs up to get inside. Connie asks him to come back, but Michael is determined to get inside. Suddenly, Michael screams in terror, and then we see his electrified hair. Michael already falls down the slide and falls unconscious. Connie takes Michael to his house, and his family members lay him down in the living room. Connie quickly recounts what had happened, but when they ask Michael what he saw, the boy says he remembers nothing. The next morning, Connie visits Michael's family to apologize for what happened yesterday. Soon after, a dizzy, bald Michael joins them. When he discovers that he is bald, Michael goes into the living room and bursts into tears. His father approaches and comforts him. Later, his father takes Michael to the doctor to see what has happened to his hair. After examining him, the doctor states that Michael has a disease called the fright. After being scared to death, his hair fell out, so the doctor says that Michael should be happy and avoid scary events. To support his son, Michael's father decides to make a painting in his honor. At school, the art teacher questions Connie about Michael's situation, but the boy refuses to talk. It almost seems as if the teacher knows something because he keeps laughing up his sleeve. The school principal summons the art teacher to his office to tell him that one of his students is having nightmares after drawing his dog. In addition, the principal confesses that she has investigated him and discovered that he has changed several schools, changing his name 4 times, and copied famous paintings claiming them as his own. Eventually, she fires him, but he claims to be a great painter and leaves. Meanwhile, Michael's mood is deteriorating, and he is venting his anger by playing the drums. One day, Michael's father, together with his daughter, give him a wig. When he looks in the mirror, he is delighted and looking forward to going back to school. During a soccer game, Michael excels as always until an opponent trips him. Michael tries to retaliate, but the boy grabs him by the wig and reveals Michael's bald head. Michael covers his head and runs away, while the others burst out laughing. That evening, as Michael walks through the house, he notices a strange shadow. When he goes to investigate, he meets the ghosts of the vagrants who died during the fire in the abandoned house. Michael says that his father could see them, but the old man claims that he can only see them thanks to his imagination. Later, the woman gives Michael a recipe for a magic solution for hair growth. the main ingredient of which is peanut butter. That night, Michael begins to gather the ingredients for the magic solution. He puts everything in a blender and starts mixing, but suddenly, his father appears and tells his daughter to throw away the liquid. Outraged, Michael says he did not mean to drink it. The ghosts return the next night and give him a second chance. However, they warn him not to add too much peanut butter because it could have disastrous effects. Michael makes the formula successfully this time, but when he finds that the cream is too runny, he overdoes the peanut butter and adds too much. The next morning, Michael goes to take a shower and washes the magic solution off his head. Later, when his sister sees him, she notices that Michael's new hair has already begun to sprout. The girl calls her father to take a look, and in the process, Michael grows a whole head of hair in a matter of minutes. Soon after, Connie arrives and is stunned when she sees Michael with hair on his head. They also realize that it grows at an absurd speed. Connie asks Michael how he did it, and the boy shows him his magic solution. Connie chooses to apply some to the pubic area to give the impression that he is going through puberty. Over the course of the day, Michael's hair continues to grow, and his classmates are stunned. During math class, Michael's hair continues to grow, and other children try to touch it. That evening, when Michael returns home, his hair is already covering his back. As was to be expected, his long hair makes him struggle, and he can barely eat. The next day, during math class, Connie cuts Michael's hair with scissors. This bothers the teacher, and Michael and Connie are suspended. The principal tells them it would be better if they stayed home for a while. At that moment, Connie realizes that the hair on his pubic area has grown exaggeratedly. That night, Connie realizes that yelling at the hair causes it to stop growing. Meanwhile, Michael frantically searches for a solution to keep the hair still, in order to sleep. That night, Michael has a nightmare in which dogs attack him and drag him by his hair. The next morning, Michael goes to school, even though the principal has told him to stay home. Due to the strong wind, Michael is forced to stop. Soon after, an unknown man approaches him and speaks to him in Italian. In the next scene, we find out that Michael has been kidnapped along with 10 other children. Soon, we find out that the kidnapper is the art teacher. Over the next few days, Connie and Michael's sister try to think about where he might be missing. During the conversation, we find out that 20 other children have disappeared. Connie says to ask Michael's father for help, but the girl says that he destroyed all his brushes after finding out about Michael's disappearance, so now he's not in the mood. So the two children decide to go buy a new paintbrush for Michael's father to make him happy. In the store, the girl finds a brush created with human hair. Moreover, she is sure that it is indeed Michael's hair. The children ask the clerk about the origin of the brush, but he doesn't know much about it. The children buy the brush and are about to leave, at which time the clerk reveals that the man who brings him the brushes calls himself Mr. That is the nickname of the art teacher. In addition, the clerk reveals that he will bring more brushes tomorrow. The next day, Connie and Michael's sister wait for hours for the art teacher to arrive. When they see him arrive in his red truck, Connie hides under the stairs. Then after the art teacher enters the store, Connie sneaks into the truck. When the art teacher returns, he invites the girl to take a ride. She refuses and the art teacher leaves. Then, as he drives away, the girl chases him on a bicycle. As the art teacher returns to his warehouse, Connie pours sugar into a tube to trace the route. Michael's sister follows the path until a street sweeper ruins everything. When the art teacher arrives at his destination, he discovers the sugar trail and then finds Connie inside the truck. The man takes Connie inside a warehouse where he keeps the kidnapped children hidden. The children are forced to build magic brushes with Michael's hair, which keeps growing. The art teacher subdues Michael with a substance that continuously stuns him. Preventing him from escaping, the children must create 500 brushes a day or they are not fed. While the art teacher is away, a child shows Connie what the brushes are capable of. Since they are magical, they can paint anything one can imagine. The paintings look alive and even make sounds. One boy states that the paintings are so real that a person can escape inside of them. However, inside, they cannot find an escape route because the art teacher only paints fictional places. In the process, Michael's father and sister discover that the art teacher has a brother, and he is indeed the art dealer. The father gets his hands on him and orders him to reveal where his brother is. The art dealer confesses that the art teacher comes here every Black Friday. Back at the brush factory, Connie wakes up to visit Michael, but a boy tells him the place is full of invisible traps that will wake up the art teacher. Nevertheless, Connie says he must save Michael at all costs, so the boys give him one of his inventions, a trap detector. Connie manages to get to Michael, but the art teacher has woken up and starts chasing Connie. The boy tries to escape and then attacks the villain with darts. In the process, Connie's sister pounces on the art teacher, but he takes her hostage. Thus, Connie surrenders to save his little sister. Nevertheless, Connie then proves to be a great actor when he manages to soften the villain, saying that he is a great painter and wants to have him as a father. From then on, the art teacher treats Connie differently and considers him a son. The art teacher says that a client has asked him to paint something creative, so they have to use only their imagination. He tells Connie to come up with an idea for the painting, and the boy asks him to paint the abandoned house Michael entered. After he finishes, Connie challenges him to get in, saying that he, too, will grow hair like Michael. The art teacher climbs up and is about to enter, but is startled and falls down. Meanwhile, Michael's sister finally finds the last trace of the sugar and finds the warehouse. Connie saves Michael, informing him that the fright has passed to the art teacher. Later, Michael returns to the abandoned house where he encounters the ghosts. However, this time he is not frightened, proving that he has overcome his fears. Meanwhile, the art teacher, now bald, chases and imprisons the children. Connie's sister sets a trap, and the art teacher trips, dropping the keys. Connie uses the keys to open the exit door, and they run away but find the gate closed. Just then, Michael's father and the police burst in. The villain is arrested, and the children are finally freed. The film ends with the family reuniting after the mother returns home. Please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.